Well, there you go. I am inside a hard shack today. Had a trip today. It was 15 below when we started this morning at sunrise. I think it's maybe 2 below now, not quite sure. But we hunkered down, we caught some fish, and that's the name of the game in these type of situations. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to hole hop and be tough and rugged. These are the situations where you can just flat out get hurt. It's cold outside, you can damage yourself, damage your gear. Get inside a shack, whether it's a hard shack like this, a hub house, a flip over, something like that. You can still get out there and enjoy the sport of ice fishing. The beauty of it, though, is that we could drive our truck out. We're looking at about 16 to 18 inches of ice out here. We're on Lake Minnetonka. I've checked other surrounding lakes. Not all ice is created equal. We've talked about that before. So make sure you check your ice conditions before you just start ripping out there. But the beauty of this super cold weather is that we're making ice. We're making good ice. It looks awesome. This is some of the best ice we've had in a while. It's very clear. It's crystal clear. It's very strong ice. Take that into consideration too. So we hunkered down today. We caught some fish. It wasn't like that all week. There were several days this week. In fact, we saw above normal temps, and we were outside, sweating outside, hole hopping. So this week saw the ups and the downs. We started the week, this week, Monday, at Lake of the Woods. We got up, we fished the sunrise bite, and we drove home. I know you saw me last week hit you up with the Lake of the Woods fishing report. Then we went right into the frozen tundra on Tuesday, took all the guys from Clam out, the sales reps, and it was cold. It was very cold that morning, windy, caught some crappies. The fish were in their typical winter patterns. They just got a little more lethargic. You got to slow down. One thing I've talked about this last week is that slow down to catch these fish in these colder conditions. Hunker down over a spot where you know there's some fish. Whether you've seen them on forward-facing sonar, you've caught them in the past, you know there's some type of sanctuary like weeds or a weed clump, and sit down on top of these fish and focus and pay attention to the lines on your MarCum and try to catch everything you see. So get very dialed, get locked in, as the young kids say, get locked in, and you'll catch more fish. That's exactly what they did today. They caught a big walleye, they caught crappies, they caught bluegills, they caught perch, they caught bass, they caught everything that swam by just staying focused. We didn't move from this spot. We just focused on what came through and got the job done. So this week, though, we did hole hop, we didn't move around. Temperatures were all up and down. We saw Minnesota's finest this last week. If you like winter, if you like ice fishing, you got dealt a wicked hand this week, from being really cold to being very warm to once again being very cold. In fact, I think tomorrow, Monday, they're saying like 17 below zero. I think I saw. Crazy, brutal. I am bibbed up. I am long underweared up. I'm wearing hats. I had my neck gaiter on most of the day, moving around. We did cook some brats outside still. I used this fish house as a windbreak. Never a wrong time to cook a cheddar brat. We had those for lunch. So it's just that type of time. You get out there and chase down some fish. How did we catch them? A variety of different ways. The pinhead continues to catch a pile of fish. This exact combo right here did really well on panfish, bluegills, crappies, you name it. This is a scepter noodle rod, 30-inch scepter noodle rod, light tip, very sensitive. We got a Kejik reel on there. You can put 3-pound test, frost, ice line, and this is a 32nd ounce perch, gold metallic perch pinhead. We did use a 16th ounce, but this 32nd ounce, for where we're fishing, we're targeting a lot of panfish, a lot of bluegills. That 32nd ounce seemed to really work well, and I really love this color. Don't know if all well you can see it. It's gold with green, little orange belly. I think it's actually called perch or holographic perch. I'm not exactly sure. And looking at this bait on the underwater camera today on our AquaView, it's funny, we were looking at this, and you can see that flapper blade from 10 feet away. Those fish are keying in on a little flapper blade. So you keep that thing moving and dancing. Don't stop moving that bait. When that fish comes, don't just stop. Keep that thing just ever so quivering down there in the water. And that little flapper blade is what those fish key in on. And all of you know me, I'm tying direct. I take that little snap off, I tie direct so I can get that whipping motion. And I like that noodle rod for that load up and that solid hook set. So that's been a really good setup. That's caught bluegills, that caught crappies. This exact setup actually caught some walleyes this week. It caught bass. I mean, it caught all kinds of things. So this is a very versatile presentation. 30-inch noodle rod, 3-pound test line, spinning reel. You could definitely use an inline reel. A lot of you know I use the Spooler Elite religiously. A lot of my clients like that spinning reel setup though. Nice collapsible handle, stores nice and neat. Throw my rod slick, which is over there on it, and away you go. So that setup worked exceptionally well. We also caught them on tungsten. Number 12 drop kick was hot this week. Glow red, number 12 drop kick was hot. We put a bolt minnow on there, caught a bunch of fish. We did tip with maggots. We had some bites today where the trusty clam can got brought out and we got our red and white Euro larva in there. We did tip them to catch some fish. Greg did really well on that. Number 12 glow red fat boy or drop kick. Said fat boy because the fat boy was the jam for so many years, and when Dave Gens created the drop kick, it was to emulate the fat boy with better characteristics, flatter sides to show up better on your flasher, made out of tungsten, much better hook. It is a fat boy on steroids, but it's one of those sayings you just can't get out of your mouth. I fished a fat boy for much of my childhood. I remember running to Thorne Brothers when they restock the bulk bin, me and Pat Smith, and we'd sift through all the number 10 fat boys in glow red. And I know Josh at Thorne Brothers used to get upset even because we would take them all before the customers could. All right, long story. So that caught some fish today. We used a confetti drop, a decent amount. I used the white with pink, orange, and blue dots with a lively minnow. Yes, I said that. I used crappie minnows the last few days in these cold conditions to get some of these fish to bite. We did sit down and hunker down, put down all the weapons. I had a live crappie minnow in that far hole while clients sat here and went to battle in these two holes. The crappie minnow draws fish in, keeps them in the area. In fact, it also caught a number of fish too. These two holes, the jig rods, all produced the crappie minnow, I'll be honest, but that did its job, so it was effective. I also fished the bolt minnow on top of a confetti, caught a bunch of fish doing that. So that's kind of our approach. The walleyes eating rattling PT spoons. The rattling PT spoon not only got the job done at Lake of the Woods for 3 days, but it's getting the job done here in the Metro again on our Metro walleyes. They like that rattling PT spoon. I'm using an 1/8 ounce. I continue to use the 1/8 ounce Glow Wonder Bread rattling PT spoon tipped with a fathead minnow. Hook it on through the skull, rip the body off, fish just the head. That seems to be what these walleyes want. So that's been kind of our approach. We did get some fish to go on tip-ups on sucker minnows. Haven't put a lot into that. Most of our fish have been crappies, bluegills. We're focusing on the weeds, anywhere from 8 to 15 feet. That seems to be the key. You saw that big walleye we got the other day that I got. That was an 8 feet of water in the weeds. Today we're fishing up in 9, 10, 11 feet of water in the weeds. We got some more nice fish, including some walleyes. Seems like a lot of these fish are relating to the shallow weeds. Everything from game fish to your panfish. They like the weeds. Looking at the aquaview, we can see the weeds down there. There's a cornucopia of bait swimming around. There's a little perch. There's all kinds of stuff. It's a world down there that these fish are living in. It's pretty cool to check out. So that's kind of the name of the game. It looks like we're going to get some cold weather again the next couple days. I'm going to be back out on Tonka here most of the week, chasing down fish. I've caught fish on numerous different bays. Pattern holds true. Shallow weeds are holding a lot of fish. The basin bite seems very zombie-ish. These fish are just kind of meandering around like they don't have any place in life. Seems like as you get up into these weeds, you're catching a lot more fish, having a lot more success, and having a lot more fun. So bundle up, dress warm, get the shack out. This is a good time to fish in the fish house. Get that fish trap out, get that hub house out, get your drop down out, do whatever you're going to do. Get out there. You can't catch it from the couch. I know it's really cold, but the fish are still biting. Just slow down, focus on what you're seeing, and you'll have a good time. Otherwise, if you're watching football, go have fun, watch some football. There's a lot of football going on. It's playoff time in the NFL. A lot of things happening, a lot of kids in sports, all that kind of stuff. So, but we're going to get after it, chase some more fish this week. I'll come back at you next week with another fishing report after another week of chasing down Twin Cities fish. Have a good one. Be safe. Stay warm.